UFOs are real, burgeoning, not going away. I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli, coming to you from an undisclosed location somewhere deep in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains. Once again, we have, well, I want to call her my co-host for these segments because she is. Dev joins us, and we're going to be talking about the release of the fourth cache of records. And we're going to show you the clip, and then we'll go back and talk about it. So we'll get into that. First, a word from our very trusted sponsor. Everyone's excited about AI, smarter future, a faster future. Everything's connected, everything in the cloud. But what happens when it breaks? What happens when the system that holds your money gets hacked? When an AI trained on every passport, every pattern, every weakness turns its attention to your bank account? How much of your wealth exists only as a number on a screen? What happens when you wake up and you're locked out of your own life? No cash, no card, no access. Just a message on the screen telling you to wait. This is why smart Americans are turning to Noble Gold Investments to own something real, physical gold, a coin you can hold, a bar you can stack, an asset that doesn't live on a server, can't be frozen by a keystroke, and can't be erased by code. Folks, visit noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com, and learn how easy it is to own physical gold and silver. Folks, there's no pressure. Give them a call. noblegoldinvestments.com. The gold is shipped to your door or held in a tax-advantaged retirement account. Again, in an increasingly digital world, own something that is real. And here's the part I love. To celebrate America's 250th birthday, just mention L.A. Marzulli when you call Noble Gold, and they'll send you a free 10-ounce silver bar when you open a new qualified account. Mention L.A. Marzulli, mention my name. That's all you got to do. Folks, we went with Noble Gold years ago, and I'm really glad we did. NobleGoldInvestments.com. That's NobleGoldInvestments.com. And tell them you heard it on the L.A. Marzulli Show. I want to thank our social media director, Rachel Tolson. You can follow us on TikTok and Twitter and every place else. Here's today's short. Thank you, Rachel, and we'll see you on the other side of that. The walls of Sacsayhuaman, Peru are absolutely unbelievable. They will astound you if you're ever there. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I've been to Sacsayhuaman several times. I actually led a tour there a while back with Steve Quayle and Tim Alberino. And when you bring people there, I remember Brian Forrester brought me there the first time. And there I am staring at this megalithic wall, which was mind-boggling. The stones are 10, 12 feet tall, sometimes even larger. And they're put together absolutely without mortar, and you can barely slip a piece of paper. In fact, you can't slip a piece of paper between the joints. That's how they are. Who did this? The Inca? I don't believe that for a second. What I call this is Nephilim architecture, fallen angel technology. So mysterious. And guess what? We can't duplicate that in modernity. I am L.A. Marzulli. So I'm here with Dev. Thank you, Dev, for joining me once again. Really appreciate it. And when I say co-host, I mean, that's what this is, and I just thank you. I mean, you didn't sign up for this, and we were supposed to do one interview, and here we are, weeks later, so it's pretty cool. It's I think it's the Lord's doing. So I'm going to share this clip right here, QuickTime Player, and let me see what we have. There it is right there, perfect. So let me go full screen here first, and this is something that you put together, and let me go. Give me a second, folks. Enter full screen, bada bing. That's what we're looking at. So we're going to run this. We're going to run it in toto, and then Dev and I will go back and we'll start talking about it. So here we go.
You know things that you feel the American people should know?
There will be an announcement soon on one other kind of factor to all this, but it's nothing that I think it'll just be kind of give the assurance that people will understand that the phenomenon is real. But no, I mean, for the most part, everything that we have been able to discuss in a skiff, we can now talk about publicly. And what I will say is, without a doubt, the phenomenon is real.
There is something going on, and what we can definitively say after years of researching this is that there is definitely some type of technology that it is using a type of physics that we do not understand. It's different type of physics than we've ever seen before.
Grush saying it's not just about technology. It's about organic extraterrestrial beings that the U.S. government is aware of.
For the record, David Grush, about the existence of non-human intelligence. I had the honor and privilege to work and serve with David Grush when we were both working at U.S. Space Force. And I can tell you what he had access to was very legitimate.
Quite something to see Dave Grush talking about biologics, about beings, about different types of sentient, advanced, intelligent beings on the steps of the Capitol.
And the sound disappeared.
Oh, it's there. I can hear it. The music is playing. Wow. This one freaks me out completely.
Yeah, it's
Really strange. I mean, it's just morphing into something completely different.
almost looks like a boar's head.
Jeez.
Not a weather balloon.
No.
This one's actually slowed down quite a bit.
This one.
Very strange.
Really high strangeness. I agree. Really strange. For decades, unknown objects have freely operated in restricted airspace in large metropolitan areas and critical infrastructure, and the agencies responsible for securing the homeland cannot adequately defend against it. This is a serious national security issue.
Not only were the G forces far beyond anything that any human mechanical device ever built could survive, much less and being inside it, there was no sonic boom and there was no plasma with the Tic Tac. All the theories aside, whether you think it's extraterrestrial, if it's something from this earth, if it's the Russians, the Chinese, or the Americans, which I don't think it is. The last briefing I had, that's some pretty incredible photos, and I think that you should have the right to see those.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well-
it's we can go over it. I have information about what kind of cameras too that were used to help
Where-
people understand.
Where do you want me to just start at the beginning and just tell me when to stop?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just
go.
go through this again.
Anna Paulina Luna. She looks like she's sitting outside a salon someplace, but who knows? Doesn't matter. And she's talking to Glenn Beck, and she's basically saying that the phenomenon is real. So here, just tell me when to stop, Dev, and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
You know things that you feel the American people should know?
There will be an announcement soon on one other kind of factor to all this, but it's nothing that I think it'll just be kind of give the assurance that people will understand that the phenomenon is real. But no, I mean, for the most part, everything that we have been able to discuss in a skiff, we can now talk about publicly.
Mm.
And what I will say is, without a doubt, the phenomenon is real.
One of the things that she's also said is that the pictures that they're seeing in these skiffs are very high resolution. They're not like the pictures that are being presented, although those are pretty good. A lot of them are pretty good. In fact, all of these people have said this, that the images that are revealed to them in these skiffs are not like anything that we're seeing. So that must mean that they're seeing details and surfaces on those ships that they're seeing that really tell the story, that this is not trick photography. This is not being mistaken for something like a weather balloon or a bird or some other kind of a balloon or a drone. So, and a lot of these predate, drones.
And you've got Anna Paulina Luna stating on the record, it's real. The phenomenon is real.
It's real.
They've seen things that we haven't seen, like you just said. I find that, this thing's heating up and it's not going away. That's for certain. So this is Tim Burwissel. Let's see what he has to say.
The way that we say after years of researching this is that there's definitely some type of technology that is using a type of physics that we do not understand. It is different type of physics that we've ever seen before.
Grush saying it's not just
He's someone
technology.
he's someone who's been very skeptical in the past.
Yes.
And he's a very logical man. He's very reasonable. I have a lot of respect for him personally. So I think that for him to say what he just said is an admission that, yeah, something is really happening here and we need to get to the bottom of it. And he still remains somewhat skeptical, but he's quickly becoming someone who believes that there is something that's beyond the mere human involved in this.
And remember, just adding to that if he's in a skiff and he's seeing photographs, videos, high resolution videos, high res photograph, that's a game changer.
Right.
It really is. It's a game changer.
It is.
Well, let's continue.
Grush saying it's not just about technology. It's about organic extraterrestrial beings that the U.S. government is aware of.
For the record, David Grush, about the existence of non-human intelligence. I had the honor and privilege to work and serve with David Grush when we were both working at U.S. Space Force. And I can tell you what he had access to was very legitimate.
Quite something to see Dave Grush talking about biologics, about beings, about different types of sentient, advanced, intelligent beings on the steps of the Capitol.
We could probably stop there. I think another thing about these biologics that they're talking about, I heard somebody else who's involved in this recently. In fact, it was yesterday, talk about how the biologics are really described that that they've seen. One thing is in the crafts that were recovered, there's no life support.
Yeah.
Like there's no toilets, there's no kitchen,
Nothing.
there's no nothing. And it almost seems like the crafts that have been found or deliberately crashed or taken down, um, that the biologics seem to be disposable that are operating these.
I agree completely. 110%.
Worker bees was the word that was used,
Yeah.
and that they're not something that they're not like talking about the tall whites or any of the others. They're just disposable units, like you say, meat suits.
Maybe it's just a meat suit and the demon inhabits it, but we don't know.
Some kind of
Everybody's
biological
got an
robot.
opinion on it. It's conjecture, but that's what I'm going with right now.
Yeah. And that's what their opinion is too, the people who know.
Interesting.
So,
Should I continue to roll it?
yeah,
Okay.
these are just comments. These are just proof papers. This is just scratching the surface of what's there, by the way.
Flying discs. Let me stop right there.
Yeah.
Because flying disc, it's really interesting. And I want to go back. I want to try to get a date for that. Hold on.
That's 1947.
Exactly. I knew it. I knew it. What Colonel Gemma Ramey, we maybe John Adam, you can go on the net and you can pull this up. Gemma Ramey holding the telegraph, okay, which is the smoking gun. And David Rudiak was the one that zoomed in on that decades later and blew up the telegraph. And in the telegram, Gemma Ramey says, flying disc. That's how he describes it. Flying disc. And here we've got, 1947, man. It's a few months after Roswell. Reports from this headquarters concerning flying discs. It's just unbelievable.
And look who it's addressed to, for the commanding general.
Yes.
So this is serious stuff. I mean, and there's more information there if people want to go and dig before the next batch comes out, which it might come out tomorrow. I mean, this is Thursday.
It's always on a Friday night. Always on.
Yeah. Everything, everything happens on a Friday night in Washington, D.C. that they don't want to deal with.
All right, let's continue.
And this is just another confirmation. This is 1949. This is a conference that they held, and that conference was very important. This is Russia. We should stop here. They tried to, this is 1969, these boxes. That all happened in 1969, Apollo 12. First, they tried to explain it as being a phenomenon when your eye sees something. And now these are photographs. This isn't a person looking. So I thought this was a kind of stupid comment that they made about it, that it was some kind of fluorescing of some sort, and that it was not real. And of course, it was a secret document for all these years. This was actually exposed some time ago, though. Maybe, I don't know if you've seen this before. Something like this leaked out. But this stuff is not, we're not looking at that. That's not a guy looking at it and taking pictures with his eyes. He's got a camera. He's on the moon. So this one got downplayed quite a bit. And some physicists tried to say that it was a natural phenomenon and that it was not real. But then later on, others have talked about it and said, no, that's that we don't know what it is, but it's not just a natural phenomenon. It has nothing to do with the camera being a reflection on the camera lens. So, and it's the same with the other one that came later in 1972. So,
Let's roll it. No, just stop it. I mean, look at,
that's also 1969.
yeah, I mean, what are we looking at here? I mean, that's just, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can see their shadows in the front and they're taking a picture. And they didn't see this image until later.
Later on, right.
Yeah.
Well, the word has gotten out over the decades that when they got to the moon, there was craft there. I mean, they and it's like
I heard that.
it's starting to come out, and here it is. I mean, it's coming out, right? So, what is that? We don't know. Let's continue.
And that one's 1972.
Try
It looks like a triangular spaceship, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And we see that formation over Belgium right around a little bit later, maybe. I'm not sure exactly what year, but people were seeing these triangular craft in Europe, and they were reporting on them with photographs that look almost exactly like what we're seeing there. Very, very interesting.
And there's other pictures. I just picked out certain ones. There's more.
Yeah.
It wasn't just these. So I had to be selective. Otherwise, the video would be a half hour long. So
There you go.
now this one's interesting because I only posted one picture.
Okay.
It's actually 3. And this is, but they've tried to say, well, this is just space junk, and people are just saying it. But the guys in the Columbia said, no, that thing was on a trajectory, and it was doing maneuvers.
So
And that's
that's
why
not that. In other words, we're not looking at the shuttle. This object here, right here, is what
Yeah.
you're inside the shuttle looking at that object.
Right. Yep. They're inside. You can see the reflection of the glass to
Yeah.
the right above. And there seems to be some structure to that piece as well. It looks like it has a tail fin. It looks like it's upside down.
Yeah, it does. I agree.
And but there's 2 other pictures, and it seemed to be maneuvering, and then it seemed to be on a trajectory. That's what the astronauts said.
High strangeness.
Yeah. Okay, this is an interesting case at Pantex, which is a nuclear facility that makes nuclear atomic bombs. This is a very highly classified place. It's a place that has a lot of security around it, and they have had a lot of incidents at Pantex. It's outside of Amarillo, Texas, where one instance was there were glowing orbs. Another one that was more recent was a diamond-shaped, with the diamond pointing up, kind of like almost like a long pyramid,
Okay.
floating around, examining the place.
Wow.
And there's actually pictures of that too, but I didn't put one up because it was kind of blurry, and I thought, well, I'll just explain it. But that was a big concern, and they just had an earthquake there a few days ago. I think it was a 5.2 or 5.5, right outside of Amarillo, right near that place, which is a very rare earthquake.
Hmm.
So I don't know. That has nothing to do with this, but I just thought it was kind of
That's
interesting.
interesting. Just put it on the back burner. Here we go.
But they love these places where nuclear
Absolutely.
armaments are made, and
Yes.
that's very dangerous.
So my former business partner who passed away, actually August 1st is the anniversary. It'll be 6 years this year. It's hard to believe. But Richard Shaw and I broke a story with Robert Salas. It's in our Watchers film. You can go check that out if you want to, streaming.lamarzulli.net. But we broke the story with Robert Salvis, who was the base commander at the Malmstrom Air Force Base, or I should not Air Force Base, but Malmstrom nuclear site, where there were these missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles in silos, and this craft appeared over the gate of the facility and switched off all the missiles. I mean, how is that even possible? So, we're looking at high strangeness here, but they are obsessed with nuke sites. I agree.
Now this is different. This isn't
This
color
is-
though.
It almost looks like CGI. It doesn't even look
Well,
real.
it's a rendering by the FBI. They did quite a few of these pictures. The people who saw this were officials, and they described this thing as being like an opalescent object, and it was huge. And this is also near a facility of some kind, but that's secret. So they did a rendering of it, and you can see it. But I put one of these renderings in because they take this very seriously. This was eyewitnessed by people that they knew were not going to lie. So I think that's kind of significant. And that wasn't that long ago. That was 2022.
Yeah, that's, just a few years back. Unbelievable.
And it's prepared by the FBI. It's not, this is something they were very interested in.
Hmm.
And there's another picture too of it after that, a little closer up. The photograph's real, but I thought this one was interesting
Yeah,
because
very interesting. What are we looking at there? What is that?
it looks like another string of pearls,
Yeah.
UFOs, but it doesn't have much symmetry to it. And this is actually a video, but I did the stills of the video so that you could actually see it.
It's amazing, Dev. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't, it's just strange. This one's even stranger, I think.
Yeah, what is it? Right? It looks almost like a winged entity. I mean,
Well, this is what I need to tell you about what kind of cameras that are used.
Okay. Are these flares?
Pardon me?
Are these flares?
No.
Okay.
What these cameras are is they're infrared cameras, and they have long and medium length waves that they pick up, and they're made to pick up heat. And these are mounted on fixed wing aircraft and also on helicopters, and they have a gyro stabilizing gimbal system that keeps them so that they can track these objects. They sometimes they have hyperspectral imaging as well, and that's where you're going to see a lot of detail, but that's not what we're going to see as the public. These are heat sensitive, so they're usually in black and white, but they can be commanded to pick up certain heat signatures in color as well, apparently. So you're not really you're seeing something that is producing quite a bit of heat. And the pictures are made so that they serve a specific strategic purpose. So they're not like your camera on your iPhone, which takes a really clear, nice picture.
Right.
And people complain about this. Well, the images are fuzzy. Well, you have to consider the military uses cameras that suit their purposes, and they're not for public consumption. And they know how to read these images. So,
Do you have any
having
idea
said
what
that-
we're looking at? Do you have any idea what that might be?
well, what they said was it's some kind of a craft, it's some kind of an object, but it seemed to be the shape of it seemed to be undifferentiated. When it gets to the top of the page, it's moving very quickly. I've slowed it down so people could see it. It shoots something off of it.
Huh.
And then, and that's it.
Right.
That's all they captured that we can see. But it's one of the more intriguing images.
Yeah. Let's continue to watch this. Here we go. Right there, something came
Yeah,
off.
something comes off of it. And I did a close-up of it and did a color analysis on it. And that first one, it had a different heat signature at one point. And then that one. This one's even more
This is so bizarre. It's just like whatever this is, it's transforming right in front of us.
Well, the men who saw this said that they thought it was metallic. But you'll hear people saying, oh, it's a collection of balloons and this and that. And they were convinced it was metallic.
Wow.
And it's moving a lot faster than what you see in this picture,
Sure,
too,
sure.
which they don't tell you when you see it on the news. So,
Let me roll it.
I have to say one thing about that.
I mean, what is that? That is high strangeness on steroids.
It's not just floating.
No,
It's,
it's
they're
flying.
tracking it with a
Right.
gyro stabilized gimbal, which you can't uh, imagine how fast that thing might have been going because the thing is being tracked, but it's
Being
on a
locked
straight
here.
trajectory. Yeah. But I heard somebody say today, and somebody who was in a skiff say, well, that thing just looks like a collection of balloons to me, and it just seems to be floating. Well, it's not. It's not just floating.
Right.
It has a
It's doing
propulsion
along
system.
like this. Yeah.
And then it takes off real fast. So
Yeah.
this
Really.
is very interesting too.
Yeah. Let's continue.
I showed those two pictures because and you needed to see that it actually changes shape.
Yeah, it does.
It almost,
How does that work? Right.
well, it almost appears to have now four structures with it. It goes from having one at the top to having two to having four. So that's not a weather balloon.
No.
I think that's one of the stranger ones. It seems to shift, or something appears and then disappears, and that's connected with it.
Very, very strange.
Yeah. Could we stop this one? This one also looks almost like there's something inside of it that is almost like a human form, or something that's humanoid.
Mm.
And again, this is infrared, so that white may actually be the cool spots, and the black on it might be the hot spots that you see next. So it's an inverted image, I think. And it's also moving faster, and it's right over water. And it moves in odd directions. It's being tracked, but it's moving pretty fast as well. And some of these things move so fast, like you'll see again at the end of the video, there's no way that a human could take the G-forces.
No way.
It would turn you into pea soup.
Right. Wow.
And I don't think people realize that no human could sustain the speeds that these things travel.
No way. No way. Wow.
Yeah.
What is no
And it changes continually.
movie? This has to be one of the strangest ones.
Yeah, there's
So
three.
what yeah, what is this?
Those are saucers. Or they're shaped like maybe almond, a little more almond shaped, but they were flying in formation, and they were moving very, very fast. I slowed it down so people
Right.
could see it.
Wow.
But if you see it
Yeah.
on site, it moves too fast to see it. So and then they go out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, this one has gotten a lot of attention.
Yeah.
It's
Again, that's an infrared picture. But there was one that had 8. It looked almost identical to this earlier in one of the releases, but it had 8 of those sort of spokes or spikes coming out of it instead of 6. It could maybe it's the same one and it just has 2 of them turned off. I don't know. So
Wow.
I think this is over water as well. And one of the things, yeah. There's definitely structure there.
Oh, yeah.
For decades, unknown objects have freely operated in restricted airspace in large metropolitan areas and critical infrastructure, and the agencies responsible for securing the homeland cannot adequately defend against it. This is a serious national security issue.
Not only were the G-forces far beyond anything that any human mechanical device ever built could survive, much less a being inside of it. There was no sonic boom and there was no plasma with the tic-tac.
You know, all the theories aside, whether you think it's extraterrestrial, if it's something from this earth, if it's the Russians, the Chinese, or the Americans, which I don't think it is. The last briefing I had, that's some pretty incredible photos, and I think that you should have the right to see those.
That would be nice.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah,
Let me
but
get out of this. Stop the share. Wow. And let me get. Yeah. Okay. That's the next one. Wow. That's just. So what are your thoughts? I mean, before we show the next one, the next clip, the next video. Thank you so much for putting this together because you spent a lot of time creating this and editing it and finding all the photos. And thank you and thank you for that. And really appreciate it.
my pleasure.
I really
I
do.
love doing it. So.
Now, I just maintain that they've got to show us the Roswell stuff. I mean, Steven Spielberg in the film does what I would call a reenactment of it.
Yeah.
That's conjecture. I don't believe it's the real footage. But where does he get that from? Did he see the real one? Did he, okay, we're going to do this now. Let's all roll the film. We're just going to create a set. I don't know, but it sure looks that way.
It's hard to say because they've been able to intimidate and debunk, which is their main tactic for 80 years.
Right. Correct.
Things have leaked. People say, well, how could the government keep this thing secret so long? Well, they couldn't without the absolute debunking program that they put in place immediately after Roswell happened.
Yeah.
And they just continued to do that. But even now, things have changed. And I was looking at this the other day, the mental health people are saying now, the people that are at the top of the mental health, where if you said you were an abductee or you said you saw a UFO, you're just nuts.
Yeah. Well, we're
Now
not
they're
doing that
saying
anymore.
that's not true. And they're getting serious about that. In fact, maybe I could just, this is interesting. I thought maybe I can't find it. I think I can't find it. But anyway, they made some statements that I thought were pretty incredible. And one of them was that we can't assume that this is a mental health issue. And just the fact that people come to a psychologist to talk to them is going to cause them stress because they know already that you may not believe them.
Right.
And that has to stop. And we know that there's aerial phenomena out there, and we believe these people now, basically, is what it netted out to be. I thought that was very interesting.
Well, when and folks, just so you know, I'm not doing conferences anymore, but we have changed a little bit. We are speaking September 6th, I believe, which is coming up, just a little over a month away. September 6th, Daphne, Alabama, Church of His Presence. I'll be speaking on Sunday morning. And we're also looking at a very early October date down in Jupiter, Florida, at Dan and Cheryl's church. So that's, the September 6th is there, and we're looking at the date in October. because it's different than a conference. If I'm at a conference, I'm with 4 or 6 or 10 other speakers. That's just me. And, Sunday morning, it's an honor to take the pulpit from Pastor John Kilpatrick, but I'll be doing that on Sunday morning. And then once we get the date solidified for the Jupiter, Florida, not conference, but speaking, I'll be speaking Friday night and pretty much all day Saturday. So that's what I love about it. I can really unpack things. So, we're shifting things, but the one thing I will do at both of these conferences to get back on track here, how many of you have seen a UFO, lights in the sky, been visited at night by a gray or something, had sleep paralysis? Raise your hand. And usually a third or over a third of the people in the audience raised their hands.
Yeah.
We are done with the shame. We are done with the people not feeling safe to talk about it. It's time because the phenomenon is real. You heard, in the very beginning of the clip, Anna Paulina Luna, the phenomenon is real.
Yeah.
And now the ball's in your court, Mr. Skeptic. So you want to go to our next clip?
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing, and that is one of the ways that they're treating this is that there's 2 ways to say something. We don't know yet, which will make it so that it invites patience for people.
Right.
We don't know yet. They're not making a denial. They're not making an admission. And that's where we are right now.
Well, it's ambiguous on some.
Yeah, in some sense, except what you just saw really is a disclosure.
Yeah. Hello. I agree.
Absolutely. The disclosure of your dreams, but it's
disclosure. The government is admitting we don't know what this stuff is. So there you go.
And the other thing is they could say, well, we're not going to tell you, which would invite distrust.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do that either. They're not going to say, well, we're not going to tell you, but they could string us along for some time.
They're really in a rock and a hard place. I mean, they really are. You got a faction that wants to reveal it, another faction saying, no, 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 no.
Right. And they're going to do there's a big fight going on that we're not seeing. We're seeing some of it, but there's a huge battle going on.
No, I agree. I completely agree. So let's go on to the next one. There you go. So yeah, this one is, I just, what?
Why?
Why? What are we looking at? Why did they even make this? So who created this?
Well, it came on President Trump. I like President Trump. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he posted this,
Right.
and there was really not much of a comment. It came from the White House, but it's this is some kind of a message. I really think so. He's a very clever man. You cannot deny the fact that this man is very highly intelligent and he knows how to place himself strategically.
I agree completely.
And he's taking shots at the deep state, I think, with this.
I agree. Let's roll the clip. Here we go. That's bizarre.
Is that J.D. Vance with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's really strange here?
If I was to describe the current situation with the whole UAP industry.
Did you want to make a comment?
Well, I mean, the thing that's chasing him is the dragon-like being, something that I would say is satanic. So what are we looking at, right? What are we looking at?
Can I say one thing? I heard the
please,
same
please.
guy was talking about, and he's, by the way, somebody who's in the know. I'll have to get the video for you. Talked about the so-called aliens, and he said that these men saw some of these creatures outside of a craft that had landed, and they were soldiers, and they said those the cartoon figures that you see and the little friendly little grays and stuff and the smiling aliens, he said these guys look like devils.
Wow.
And he was like really adamant about that. So
And right? I mean,
yeah.
Folks, I'm going to do a show on this, but in Ephesians 6, there's a list of the, wickedness in high places, archons, cosmocrators, Asusia, the different labels for different entities that are part of the Luciferian umbrella. So when we just say demonic, it's a very truncated view. This is a very complex, regimented group of entities, Luciferian. And, there's a hierarchy, there's a structure that's there. Demons, I believe, are the lowest rung. And then you get, cosmocrators, Asusius. I mean, it's like, I'm going to do a whole show on this because it's Ephesians 6, principalities, wickedness in high places. This is what we're looking at. There's a structure in the satanic kingdom, a structure in the Luciferian umbrella. So let me continue. Is it okay if I go, Dev?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. This is Russ Colhart. Well, what is that?
There's a dilemma. At the moment, we have a government that's promising transparency. Is someone trying to control the narrative?
Yes. You made a statement recently as of recording this program where you talked about allegations and rumors of a pretty high-profile person within the UAP topic being appointed at a very high level to kind of spearhead the disclosure initiative or being...
Now let's stop it here.
White House.
This also talks about he's going to talk about what we talked about earlier before the show. So I don't know if we want to continue with it.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't do this, folks.
Yeah, we better not. That might be dangerous.
Might be dangerous. There's certain stems I'm not going to wade into. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So we'll just stop the share. Or should I continue?
You can skip over and
Go to Lou or no?
no, go past. No, go keep there. Just
Okay.
get to him. That's the one we'll show. We won't show the other one so we don't get in trouble. You can start it there.
All right.
That's just picture Clapper.
Regularly. Yeah, he's running into problems though. The deep state's blocking a lot of this stuff that the president's trying to get there.
How do you get past that?
Well, there's some legislation that moved on some whistleblower stuff that was in one of the bills. So I hope maybe that'll help clear up a lot of it. But it's a fist fight. It's been that way since 1947, and we're not going to do it every.
Does he now get Trump at the table a little bit more in these times?
Oh, he's in it. He's in it, but he's the one that's being denied. I mean, the deep state is real. It crosses party lines, and it's crooked as a dog's leg.
Picked up your August.
You too, brother.
I wanted that to be, this is just done. This is him just talking, and this is why this stuff has been delayed. There's just these huge fights happening. It's a big struggle. So for people out there who are saying, well, how come this and how come that this isn't being done, and you guys promised that this is going to happen. I never promised anything myself. I never, you promised anything.
Well, we've got dumps. We've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe another dump. I mean, who knows where they're going to go with this thing? I maintain that they've got to show us the Roswell footage, the whole deal, the crash, the bodies. We show something in our film, which we believe is real, but other people have come on and saying, no, it's a construct. It looks like the alien autopsy, and they show them side by side. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. And now we're going to be doing a show, I think, maybe next week on the reemergence of Skinny Bob, right?
Yes.
We'll be talking about that next week because once again, Skinny Bob's, is it a puppet? Is it CGI? I don't know. That's where Dev comes.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming on the record today, Dev. It's been a great interview, folks. Again, we've got UFO disclosure, and right behind me you can see rungs of disclosure. So a lot going on here. Do your homework. We'll be back again probably next week with another show with Dev. And I just want to thank you for coming on and sharing your expertise with us. It's really great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Folks, I'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.
Death comes for us all. Today, it came for Bob.
This is your life, Mr. Frisbee. You can call me Mr. O. Time does not exist here. We will go through every person you have ever wronged and everyone who has wronged you.
I can't forgive him! Bob, come down here.
Aunt Mary?
You cannot enter heaven with hatred in your heart.
Take my hand, Bob. We'll go together. Are you escaping?
Stay back! Bob Frisbee must face every sin of his past. Will he find forgiveness in his heart or surrender to the darkness? Find out in the brand new novel by L.A. Marzulli, The Waiting Room.